Hi, it's Rob, and this is video number 6 in my series for marketing for Catholic schools. It's time to talk about what's on your website. Now, we've covered some strategies that involve who's it for, and this is a really important question to ask about your website. Who do you anticipate is actually looking and researching on your website? Well, I'm going to assert that it's who we've been talking about all along, and it's the persona that we call Mom. Mom is going to come to your website, and she's going to look to determine what she thinks, what thoughts and what stories she can form about your school by visiting your website. Now, there's two different moms we're talking about here. The first one is the prospective mom, and the second one is the current mom. So let's talk about prospective mom for a moment. Prospective mom is going to do some research, and she's going to want to come to your website, and there on your website could be her first impression of your school. This is why your website is really, really important. Your website is the second most important marketing tool you have in your arsenal, second only to the actual visit and experience that Mom has at your school. Your website is the representative of your school when they're not actually there. It's the virtual representative of your school. This is the image of who you are, what your promise is, what you provide. And it's all available on your website in the comfort of Mom's home. And she's going to use it largely to develop her impression of your school and make her determination and decision whether or not to send her child or children there. So let's talk about, what is Mom looking for when she comes to your website? What is it that she needs to find? And how can we provide it to her very, very simply? Mom shouldn't have to dig for this. She shouldn't have to figure this out or solve any puzzles or read an enormous amount of text to find what she wants. Because we're going to do the hard work. You're going to do the hard work of determining what it is she wants. And then you're going to give it to her. And so I'm going to make some assertions about what I think Mom is looking for in order to make her determination about your school. And I'm going to offer some ideas for what helps her form a story about why she should choose your school. And then it helps her form the story of why she chose your school. And then it helps her form the story of why she's telling her family and friends that she picked your school. These elements on your website are very important, but very simple. The first thing is pictures. Photos of your school, the facility, the inside, the outside, the neighborhood, the parking lot, the driveway, the playground, the gymnasium, inside classrooms, inside the lunchroom, inside the offices. We want to give prospective mom a virtual tour of what it looks like inside your school. She has to be able to picture in her mind where her child is going to be, because safety is a huge part of this, and knowing where and what her child is going to experience is very important to her and can simply be accomplished or partly accomplished through photos. Now, you can take photos of your facility if you can include smiling faces, smiling teachers, kids in their school, their natural school environment. These are good things, because one of the things that we haven't talked about, but is very important in our buying decisions, is familiarity. And when we see things we're familiar with, we're much more apt to choose them over something that it feels unknown. It eliminates the feeling of risk. So when mom sees a classroom full of happy, smiling kids, it helps her make the decision of, yes, I want my child to be part of this. But in the worst case, if she sees an empty classroom that's clean and decorated and organized, that helps too. Mom wants to see, and she wants to envision and form the story in her head where her child is going to be. And so every area of the school, the hallways, the lockers, the lunchroom, every area that you can photograph and provide photos on your website of your school helps mom become familiar with the school. It helps her form the story of, this is where my child's going to be, and this is okay. Now let's talk about different photos. Photos of your staff. If you have and should have a faculty and staff page, or maybe you have class pages, on those pages, you should have photos of your staff. And the photos that you have of your staff should be professional photos. Photos that are selfies, that are crops from family photos taken from Facebook, where you can see part of other people, or that they're holding their dog, and that some of them are really close and fill the frame with their whole face. Other ones are too far in the distance. When you have a staff page of photos and all the photos are different and all the photos look amateur, that's a really poor representation of the quality of your school. It's important that you have good quality professional photos. Now, to get good quality professional photos doesn't necessarily take a professional. If you have somebody that is talented with an iPhone and can set up the same shot for every photo with the same background, and it's a good quality photo with good lighting, that works perfect. You just need uniformity and a little bit of professional attempt to make the photos look nice on your website. Remember, not only does the content of your website bear importance here, but the quality of the content of your website speaks volumes. Remember, you're teaching their kids to become successful and professional. If the product that you produce representing your school is anything less, it's a deterrent from those who would pick you. Okay, so that's photos. As you can tell, I'm big on photos. I think that's one of the most important elements of your website and one of the areas I see lacking on most. The other thing that's important on your website is tuition. Mom, when she comes to look at your school on your website, she's looking to see, what is this going to cost? And your tuition on your website should be simple. Just simplify it. Include all of the add-ons. Include the book fee, the tech fee, the application fee. Whatever else, include it in the tuition. Give her a number that says, here's your tuition. The one part of tuition I don't understand. I believe that it's used as an incentive for larger families. But it's difficult to justify a discount for the additional child or additional children. How does it cost any less for the second or third child than it costs for the first child? This is a puzzle for mom to figure out. If you were to buy a car, and you wanted to buy a car for each of your two children, the dealership is not going to give you a reduced rate on the second car because you're buying two. Each one has its own value, has its own price. The same could be said for tuition. If you have one child in school, the second child costs no less. The second child is not valued any less. The value of the school is still the same. The price should be doubled, should be the same for each child. Now, if you want to offer a discount, that's up to you. There could be an incentive for larger families. My feeling is that it is a deterrent because it's a puzzle. It also makes tuition harder to calculate. Tuition is something that you should be proud of. If you are embarrassed to talk about the tuition of your school, you're doing something wrong. The tuition speaks from the value of your school. And your approach to tuition is, our tuition is this amount because we're worth it. And we're going to give you not only this much worth, but more. Our value is much higher than our tuition. The statement of your tuition could be, our tuition for this wonderful school, our tuition is only, and that's how your tuition should be stated. If you have tuition, and most do for in-parish and out-of-parish and non-Catholic, that's fine too. Give 3 numbers, 1 for each. Include all the add-ons. Make it really easy for prospective mom to say, oh, it costs this much. This is what we expect in the age of internet economy, of the connection economy. We want to know. We want to know right now. If they have to call to figure out the tuition, you're losing a prospective parent and a prospective student. Okay, I could go on with tuition for a while. The next thing that could go on your website is reviews. We call them testimonials. You can call them testimonials. I would call them reviews. And I would get parents to volunteer their reviews, existing parents to volunteer their reviews, because we so are accustomed to reading the reviews. Prospective parents are going to want to read the reviews of your school from other parents. There's more information that you can put on your website. That's up to you. Prospective parents may be looking to see what kind of class information you offer. What kind of sports do you offer? You can have an athletic section. You can have a club section. Those things are always very helpful. Remember, it's the internet, it's a website. The amount of information that you can put on your website is basically limitless. So include as little as you like that you think would help the prospective mom do her research, or you can include as much as you like if you think your prospective mom is going to want to dive a little deeper into what you have to offer. Think about that thoroughly, considering the prospective moms and the families that you are marketing to. The question is, who's it for? what's it for, and what's your promise? And how can you answer those questions to shape the story that you are giving prospective mom that she's going to go away with? The next mom is the current mom. Current mom is looking for a little bit less on your website, but you also need to give her a story. And that comes from just making things easy for her. Maybe have a section dedicated specifically for current mom. And current mom, when she goes to her section, could have areas about lunch, the lunch calendar, the dress code, the student handbook, forms that she might need to download for parent permission forms, field trips. Those things make it really very simple and give her the information that she's looking for. That's all there is to it. Then you can use your other marketing tactics, which would be social media primarily, to drive people to your website to get the information they're looking for. So you can use social media to say, hey, looking for parent permission forms? We have them on our website. Hey, looking to see what athletics we offer? Find them on our website. You can even post news and information and events on the homepage of your website. This can be very helpful. It can also be very harmful. The helpful way is if you keep it current and you post news and pictures and updates about what's happening at the school or the students at the school. The harmful way is to not use it and to have news and pictures and updates that are several months old or from last year. Websites nowadays are easy to maintain. They're easy to update. You must keep them updated and current. It's important because you are teaching students to be successful and professional. And if your website does not reflect the same, it looks very poorly on your school. Be sure to read through your website and make sure that your grammar is good, that it is aesthetically pleasing and professional. Websites are extremely important. There's another section on the website that you can include, and that is for the alumni. There are alumni that like to look back and maybe even give back to your school, where you can offer areas for them to donate, areas for alumni to volunteer, to get involved, to keep in touch. You can offer those as well. Websites have the ability to take donations, to create forms, to collect information. You can speak to your audience. Who is it for? It's for prospective mom. It's for current mom. It's for alumni, people that have been there before. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for what you do.